Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Rule the Waves as Great Britain, episode number 38. We're almost to episode 40, which is, I have to say, like, generally the point where I'm really seeking to wrap the series up. So I think that if this war drags on too much longer, it might even be the last one, which would be, not ideal. Still trying to get my desk set up. There it is. Just because we would miss out on the Victoria class, which is certainly going to be probably even the name of this episode. I don't know if I already named an episode Victoria Class because we started to look at it already, but that's going to be the goal of this episode besides continuing to advance in the war. I would like to go to war one more time because I feel like we're finally starting to come into our own. But a series which goes, I don't think I'm shooting for a 50 episode series here. We'll need to jump to the Italy one. I know that Stoke Frog Gaming might be getting rusty on his skills at Rule the Waves by all the time that's passed since we were originally planning to do that cooperative series. So I'm in high spirits. I think the Royal Navy would be in high spirits right now just because we're winning. We're finally defeating the Americans. And sure, you can say that we're being invaded and stuff. We're still losing territory here and there. But we at least have it under control for the moment. Is there a chance that we even can take... No, I guess they've moved into the west coast with some great amount of force. Apparently we don't have anybody on the east coast because they're both, I guess, under repairs. And we don't even have the 4-to-1 ratio here necessary to stop the Americans from invading. So, I may press next turn and it may be just be an avalanche of invasions. I hope not. The war should be coming to a close soon just because the submarines, and then when you're winning these big battles, it does also has an effect on the enemy's unrest level, which it's unknown to us, but we're getting these hints that it's not good for them. Okay, so that's it. We have 4 on the west coast. I probably wish we had a few more in the Caribbean. We just have the old King William II still putzing around. Our battle cruisers look like it's going to take 2 months for the Lord Sandwich, who's now elite. We have the Fortune, who's also elite, back in 1 month. So we'll be okay. Next month we'll have our ship points back up kind of where they need to be. How many submarines are we building right now? Let's go over and look at that. Because that's always something. Wow, look at the numbers have dropped down. We have 62. We had 130 going into this war. Can you believe that? We've lost 70 submarines. Well, that's a reason right there not to invest too heavily in submarines. They are extremely expensive, and you lose them just so gosh darn quickly. But nonetheless, the build cost is only $250 a month compared to the millions, multi-millions that you need for the dreadnoughts and those things, and they do have a very good effect. So we especially are expecting the reliability of these to be in the high 80s, I think. Mid 80s, but probably even the high 80s. I'm guessing maybe even like 88, 89, because I think we had 5% increase to reliabilities, which would put us, at least over 80. And that's, these things should just be doing great work. We'll go to unrestricted to try to end the war a little bit faster. I don't know why. I thought I already did this, but... And you know what, just because... Nope, well, let's save up a little bit more money and get to that Victoria class. Crush them completely. Good. Okay. 17 to 6. 6 more lost. We're still naming those silly American minesweepers. They're still doing some damage at coastal raid in Newfoundland. We have our battlecruiser available. The U.S. Navy is declining. That's interesting. A convoy attack where we have dreadnoughts, the King William. I don't want her involved. But we also have the battlecruisers and the destroyers. This is 110 victory points, large battle size, which means it might actually be this dreadnought. I was going to say I'm going to accept, but now I'm thinking about it a little bit more. I know our fortune classes have done well for us, but I really think we should only choose to fight with our battle cruisers. Our Ajax class, the one that certainly is going to get the job done. So the indefatigable, available here for us, is going to do a bit of convoy raiding we'll see how this goes. This is ideal for me. I mean, the ideal is the raiding operations. I think I've gone over this off camera that the raiding operations are the best because then you usually can get one-on-ones with battlecruisers, and that's the best. That's just the best. But this is not bad either because, oh, at least we have a chance to sink whatever, kind of on our own terms. Let's see what we have here. I want to get our speed up very quickly. We're up against a lot of ships. These are claiming to be battleships. I don't know what that means. We've hit one of them with a 16-inch gun. So this is interesting. I want to create some distance. By the way, what time is it? It's late afternoon. So that's not good. Okay, now we are... Oh, we're taking hits. Just waiting for the identification to come in. I guess we'll steer away a little bit more. We're taking a few hits here. Best thing for us is actually just to bring our rear guns to bear. Narrow our profile. This has worked out very well for us in the past. So let's just try to enact the same strategy. These are really fast. I'm not sure. Wow, we're just taking... I mean, holy cow. So we're taking 14 and 15-inch hits, I guess. It's amazing. From 5 shots, we have half structure damage already. Like, what the heck? They must be getting lucky and hitting just all our vital places. Squad max still available to us at 28. Okay, so here's what we're up against. 15 inches of the Ohio. They only have one superimposed or super firing forward. That's a critical mistake on their part. We should be in very good shape to just put our 5 guns against their 2. Still, the other battlecruisers are also... Right, so we just got hit again. We can actually figure out what we just got hit by. Another 14-inch shell. So that's a 14-inch... what was that? Splinters, damage, hull. Yeah, well, great. More damage. And we are just getting wrecked here. I have to say I'm very surprised by how that's going so far. They only have 2 guns that they're firing forward. And all the different ships, when you have multiple ships engaging you, there is still a slightly increased penalty to everyone's accuracy just because you're not sure which shells... I mean, you're not 100% confident which shells are coming from which ship. So it's hard to home in on the target. Very interesting. I would have expected this to go very, very, very differently. Okay, critical hit, bridge destroyed. This is incredible. We are just getting ravaged in what should be a very favorable engagement for us. Okay, one more battlecruiser is still pursuing. The United States class. Now this is an older one, yeah, because I think I had a chance to actually take this one myself. Look at the armor on this. If we lose to the United States class, I will be very sore. Very, very, very sore loser. And we're still taking... It would be wonderful if we could return fire. We finally did. Landed 1 shell. Finally landed 1 shell. Now their armor is so weak I'm expecting just going to penetrate immediately. High speed increases flooding. That's not something we're going to be able to control yet. Yeah, 18 is not terrible. If it's just this one... Man, what is wrong with our... There's something wrong with our bloody guns today. Okay, let's take a look. Smoke interference, firing ship damage is -50, so we have a really bad rate of fire. Deliberate fire means that we're already down on ammunition? Huh. But it doesn't look that way. Oh! Yeah, 165 armor piercing still remaining. I haven't fooled with these values, but this is just what they do. Yeah, this is crazy. Why are we in such bad shape? Now, there's might be something to be said here about just turning and engaging with our full broadside. I want to make sure that we're as far away from the other ships as possible. Okay, let's do it. Because now we're bringing our 3 other guns to bear. The United States class has all 11 of hers, so it's 7 of us are our 16-inch guns against 11 of their 14-inch guns. If we can land a few hits, though, their armor is so weak. Oh, we are not landing any hits. What the heck? Come on, crew, get it together. Defend. Defend honorably. Jeez, are they going to let us go with this much damage? Incredibly, it seems yes. So a very narrow escape for us. Actually, we're still pretty poorly damaged. Let's go down to 0 and just wait for flooding to subside. Have we done it? Yep, we're down to 0. Okay. Well, very strange engagement. Just very unlucky, and the only thing we can say is that we're really lucky to get away at all. So this will be a pretty big defeat, but not so much that we need to worry about losing our battlecruiser. So it won't change the odds. Next turn we'll have the Lord Sandwich back out. I think the Lord Sandwich was our elite battlecruiser anyways. Yikes. That was scary. Bit frustrating. Still having difficulties with these engagements, which is sad. Okay. Just limping home. Whew. I mean, these first 5 hits took our structure damage to like 50% immediately. It was really unfortunate. Okay, well, we made it. It's a major victory, but 40,000 points compared to, you know, the 200,000 they probably would have gotten if they had sank us. It's I'm looking at it optimistically that we came out ahead. Unrestricted should help us win the war against them a little bit faster as well. Okay, so now the Indefatigable has actually become elite status because of that battle, which is interesting. I think that we're going to take a quick break and just finish off our Victoria class. Here she is. Again, I know that we can do some small upgrade. Actually, we probably can get 20. Oh, did I already check this? Yeah, I did. So could we get 4? This is also not possible. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I probably should have studied it a little bit closer, the battle damage report from the previous battle. Oh man, I really, really, really wish we had better quality 1, like caliber 16, caliber 15-inch guns. I wonder if we can even try to get lucky with, like, what do we have here? 9-inch guns, which will probably be researched at some point. We have quality 1 14-inch guns, which is just a little bit too low. I mean, we saw the damage that 14 and 15-inch guns were doing. What is the point of 17-inch guns if we don't land them often enough? Remember, the rate of fire decreases as you take damage, so if you can get damage early and often, which means by using more guns, hopefully you have better chances of hitting them. Well, really, it just comes down to using the advanced director stuff, I think. So these would be triple. We actually never got... Oh, they're all triple. What am I talking about? So a little bit weird to me. We never got the better... Oh, yeah. Huh. Oh, I went to advanced director. I was wondering why this weight has decreased so much, but that doesn't... I think something's still not adding up. Did I do something different? Oh, crap. It can't be, right? Okay, 15-inch turrets. This is going to be great. Yeah, I mean, this, again, I can go back into the age-old argument that we're fine with this deck because even if they're penetrating, they still have to sink 43,000 tons of ship. So a few deck penetrations is going to be... It's just going to be okay. And we can see based on gun data that, okay, we're going to be penetrating anything more than 4 at 20,000. Even at 16, we're penetrating more than 4. How's 15, though? Okay, this would actually make it worthwhile. I guess that does make it like kind of an interesting thing to try to get 4-inch deck, because we're going to be going up again. Oh, so that's something. Because we're going to be going up against ships that have only 14 and 15-inch guns. Alright, if we're willing to go to 43,000, yeah, then I think that, and I think we are, 146.3 versus, so it's a 3 million increase. It doesn't translate to much overall. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. This is a darn fine ship now. Okay, so I'm waffling back again because we're not going to be using our deck armor. We're not going to be able to choose to use our deck armor as much since we're not going to be able to control range. But at the same time, I mean, if we engage at range, why 4 inches of deck is just, no, it's not bad to have that. Okay, yeah, and it's not that much more expensive. So I think this is the Victoria class. I'm going to save this yet again, but we're going to overwrite but not go to the build dialog. I'm going to wait 1 more month, so I'm just going to sit on it for 1 more month. Okay, yeah, so this is what I get for paying the... This is why I get frustrated at this event. Whenever you give the army money, they still fail spectacularly with it. I just don't... Or maybe there's a world in Rule the Waves, or a parallel universe that exists where people don't have all these bad events. Wow, talking about bad events, that's not a good ratio. I spoke too soon when I said that the Royal Navy's optimistic about our chances. I mean, this is taking a turn for the worse, hasn't it? Okay, how do we deal with this? Okay, Great Britain, USA only has a destroyer, so we're under no threat of being blockaded in Northern Europe. They don't have any ships there, which leads me to think that let's get these Achilles to start raiding, because we did get a lot of interception events, but I'd be quite happy to have those interception events with my Achilles. We'll just leave the Comus as basically placeholders. And let's get another one into the Caribbean. Because we don't need any in Northern Europe. We already have the number we need there. Just to stop being blockaded or whatever. I mean, I'd almost prefer to get it on the west coast, but they're still... Yeah, they're keeping a really sizable number there, so... Darn. Okay. These armored cruisers are just silly. Don't do it. Okay, 13-3, this is much better. And I waited my month already, so I guess it's really time. Oh, look at this, and these are much more successful as well. Okay, fantastic. Fist of the Empire. We know that this is our Achilles design. Good luck. Squad max. Wait a second. That's a Comus class. Oh, I think we intercepted a raider. Well, I guess just go right in for it, huh? We actually landed the first hit. First couple hits. We're trading blows. A few more hits. They're peeling off. We will pursue. Another hit. They're coming into our broadside. We're now wind side of them, which is helpful for a Comus class, which is a coal burner. And let me just look at this ship before we sink it. 29 knots, so this is a relatively new ship. 6-inch guns, mines, yeah, lots of stuff that we're going to be happy to take out of the Northern Europe theater. Good. Okay, they actually considered our damage medium. I didn't really think we took that many hits. Very good. So let's go back. Well, it doesn't look like the Victoria is going to be changing at all. Let's go ahead and finish her off. Triple turrets all around. Advanced director firing. Double secondaries. Boy, wow, they don't remember anything, do they? Something is wrong here. Slope deck, there it is. Perfect. All right, this is the end-all be-all of the British fleet. We're probably just going to try to build as many of her as we can until the end of the game. Now, obviously, there's a bit of a trade-off here because our battlecruisers are really good at running away, so we don't need them in bulk. But we really need the Victoria in bulk to get into a good fleet battle. That is the trade-off, which makes me really tentatively even prefer just to build more Ajax class. But it's been 2 years since the prototype. It's really time to get going. The first one will be the Victoria. That's 8.5 million more. We're still doing good, so we can build, looks like 3 more. I'm going to try to squeeze out 3. Yeah, let's try to get 3 more. Because these will be done soon as well. Now, I'm not going to rename them right now because I mean, I have my list, but it takes a little bit of time to go through it. So just these will be renamed to something more, I mean, according to my list, in the next video. So that you can see that then. Okay, so that's good. Now we've done a real number on our monthly balance. We might even, I'd like to start these as soon as possible just because then they're, you know, in service faster. And we do have, oh, but if the war came to an end suddenly, we would lose a lot of this funding. So getting this, you know, 11 million back would probably be only enough to scrape by. So I'm going to wait a little bit longer. We're just not going to be able to afford. Okay, that's good because it's not, these are both things which affect your ships in existence, which is good considering we just designed a new ship. Okay, very good. Now we can finally get the Achilles underway. These Achilles have actually been pretty quiet. So this is, I assume, an Achilles this time. Yeah, you can see by the design. Speed limited to 26 knots. Well, that's just about perfect. We're max speed of only 24 knots ourselves. Yeah, it's a fine ship though. Still has the 6 sided broadside for 6-inch guns. Same as the Comus, but with much less guns needed to achieve that. So she's a fine ship. Actually, she is quite a lot lighter, or should have been. Did I go with the 2.5? Oh, I did. I went with the 2.5 to 2.5. So there is, if you use only 2-inch turrets, I think they're shielded mounts versus fully turreted mounts. The difference there being just that they're a lot lighter and slightly less effective. Okay, this ship can run away from us if it wants 29 knots, but let's see if we can, you know, encourage them to engage. Looks like maybe yes. Okay, we landed the first barrage. 2 hits. 2 hits reported. They hit our submerged mount. That's probably going to slow us down a bit. Nope. And now we're once again hitting them. Ooh, several good hits. Another good line. Oh yeah, lots of good hits. There's the torpedo launch. Unnecessary. Just finish them off with our guns. That's all we need to do. Really just avoid the torpedo hits ourselves. And this is one dead ship. We're having much better outcomes with the light cruisers. I have to say I would rather lose all these light cruisers and to just get my battle cruisers to be winning, but who wouldn't say that? There it is. Okay, good. Another defeat for the Americans, just slowly trying to take their ships out. Let's do an almanac checkup. We have 13 dreadnoughts. I don't know how many of those. I guess all but one of those are... yeah, we have 12 strategic dreadnoughts and only one really functional, but it's the all-or-nothing, the true all-or-nothing gun design, and it's a bit outdated. 5 battle cruisers, we're comparing that with 13 and 13. It's just that the difference here is just ridiculous. There's no way that the Americans should have, like, literally double our tonnage, over double our tonnage in both dreadnoughts and battle cruisers. This is the Royal Navy versus the US Navy. It should be comparable. So probably this is really a vote in favor of historical budgets or something. I don't know. Yeah, we still have 4 battleships in service for 64,000. It's a bit silly. Are those still in elite status? You know, those are only good status. I think that we just waxed those after this war. I do want to revisit crew training as well. Enhanced training, I think that's still effective. But let's just make sure torpedo training is also being done. Lots of minesweepers. Looks like Germany has a whole bunch. The Americans have 66. What in God's name is compelling them to build that many? I don't know. It's just a bit strange. These numbers are just horrible, though. Okay, we have a comparable number of light cruisers and a little bit low on the destroyers. That's something I probably should build a few more of. We have our very slightly outdated... Wow, the Eden is not just slightly outdated. Yeah, the Grenville class, which is still really a good class of destroyer. So we have a few of these older Kingfishers, which were, you know, the epic victors in the war against France, I believe it was. And these are just still a gosh darn good ship. Still, I guess there's no sense not. Let's like open this design for rebuild for a moment. So it only has 1 weight remaining, 32 speed. Oh, it had a free extra speed increase just because of the getting lucky with the building. So that was done in 1920. That was not that long ago. Now, if I was to open that design as is, we'd have 50 extra space. We could probably... Oh, we can't... Why won't it let me go over 32? Do you need to go... Ah, interesting. You need to be 1100 to be able to get over 32. Very interesting. Well, I'm just going to leave the Grenville as is. We'll just probably deploy this entire Grenville class, every member of her, into whatever fleet we get. And the Kingfishers are a speed of 33 as well, so these are all fantastic ships. We don't need more destroyers yet. I like more destroyers, but we have enough to support a fleet. We just need to get our fleet going, which is the Victorious. Okay. I think I'm forgetting to do something, but... let's go down to medium here. Okay, I think we have everything done in fire control, so I'm going to go down to low. Oops, got something. Advanced weight savings. I don't think we have anything more to do with this. Yeah, this is the one which is interesting to me. No, not this one, not this one. Turrets. Yeah, we've never gotten the improved quadruple turrets. Remarkable. And that's on high research as well. Yeah, the best thing right now is just to increase our damage and to increase our penetration. Things which are going to affect ships which are currently in existence. So we've already laid out our plan for the future. Which means also that, okay, actually this is still good because getting better quality guns doesn't take that long to refit. If we happen to get like better 16-inch guns, we could build a better Ajax, which would be fantastic. I would probably even try to build a few more independently. Especially after that rotten scuttling. And I was kind of joking with some people afterwards, like, who would scuttle like the Pride, like who would scuttle like the HMS Hood in real life? You just wouldn't do it. You wouldn't get yourself into a situation where you would scuttle the Hood. Now, I'm sure no captain wants to scuttle his ship ever. It's like, I'm sure it's a death sentence for anybody's career. But who would scuttle a battle cruiser? Like, it's just, you can't fathom. I can't fathom a situation where that would... the only thing that comes to mind is the Battle of the River Plata, Silver River, whatever we want to call it, where the German scuttled the... was it? I don't even remember which one it was. I want to say Graf's Bay, but I don't know which one. Anyway, they scuttled one of their pocket battleships, their armored cruisers, their heavy cruisers. But that was because they had, like, they were, well, I mean, I guess you could conceive a battle cruiser being in the same situation. Okay, maybe it's okay. We should not let them off lightly. Yes. Okay, peace is concluded with our side gaining some concessions, minor territory gain. Darn it! That means no territories. We didn't force them to actually collapse. Well, it's a good thing I didn't choose to build more of the other class ships, of the Victorias, because we are certainly in a bit of a pickle in terms of the economy. Now, we'll have 11 million back in 4 turns. Just pray that comes sooner than later. I get it. It's not good. Okay, first order of business, though, is going to be to retire the Hornblower class once and for all. Okay, now we have foreign tonnage on foreign station issues. Was expected. This issue was expected. Just to get the 2 down here to go to foreign stations. And I think I'll pull back one of these to move to Northern Europe, just so we have some in Northern Europe. I don't think we need that many on the West Coast anymore. We'll probably get this one to move back to Northern Europe as well. Well, okay, let's actually... I think I'm going to call this one back to the West Coast. We only need to move one. Okay, fine. I don't want to deal with this stupid interface. I was actually just going to wait 1 turn so I could just move it directly, which is faster than stopping it from moving, because this game is interesting about that. No, we will redesign. Okay, yeah, that's another thing we're going to have to do, is redesign some ships with better improved fire control. Advanced director, of course. No, also safeguard our interests. Nothing happened. Okay, 2 and 1. Commissioning some submarines, which should also help. Condemn them, I don't care. We don't really want to go to war with France, though. Actually, we could. We could take their Southeast Asia holdings. But they don't have anything left in the Caribbean, maybe? Hey, good. We got both of them commissioned. Fantastic. What would France offer in terms of... nothing in the Caribbean, which is where we'd want stuff. But lots of stuff everywhere else. Of course, we'd have to redistribute all of our forces. Southeast Asia, we'd probably easily be able to get some invasions here. We probably should have built even more strategic. Just the budget is just a problem. It's just simply a problem. 640. I mean, this is ridiculous. The fact that our budget is just so low. Actually, right now, I can't even complain. We're actually higher than the United States. This is a really interesting thing. I'm going to turn intel efforts down to none on the United States to try to prevent tensions. That will actually keep their budget lower. I didn't think about this. I don't know how the AI works with budgets, and actually, does it follow them or does it just do its own thing? That's a good question. It may just cheat. I mean, there's already some kind of cheating going on sometimes with ship designs or whatever, but do they follow their budget? I don't know. If they do, then this is a good decision. We can kind of force them to lose a little bit of budget just by being in good terms with them. It's kind of like a long-term strategy. I've never thought of this before, but we can try to be good friends with the people we want to be good enemies with later. The submarines, that's going to help the budget a lot. We might even be able to afford another... Oh, damn it. Well, I just can't get away from raising tensions with them. Yeah, we actually are able to afford one last Victoria class. So there it is. 5 Victoria classes laid down. Probably all that will be constructed. We're getting close to the point where we want to accelerate their construction, so I'm going to leave this monthly balance. We are going to want to do some retrofits. I guess I could start doing those now. Do we even want to retrofit you? What could you even... Oh, well, that's a really simple change. It's a really expensive change. What the heck? Oh, his maintenance is so high already. It just basically doubles his maintenance for 4 months. Okay, let's do that just to get the best gunnery on it. 14-inch guns, still nothing to scoff at. I could even improve them, but no, I'm not going to. They'll just have to make do with advanced director and still pretty good penetration profile. If it gets up against a battlecruiser, it probably can win, but Not much more than that. Okay, so you're fine. Yep, rebuild. And the tough one is going to be the Ajax. We still have 5 Ajax class out. I'm happy that we did get 5 total. Let's move you guys back to Northern Europe because your maintenance is insane. Even at the cost of putting a few more on foreign station. You'll probably need to do this, foreign station. Okay, let's do that. Yes, buy everything, Russia. Absolutely. Submarines. I was gonna. Do we buy submarines or do we do the improvements? How many submarines do we have? And we're actually can see what kind of. Yeah, they're only 82. That's not as good as I thought. We have 79 here. Well, it is the method which is working the best for us. So I think I'm gonna go invest in submarines a little bit more. Actually, I think I'm quite happy doing just medium range submarines. Now, I'm thinking more about it. I think the... Ugh, what am I trying to say? Sorry. Let me rephrase. The medium range submarines, I believe, are as effective at shutting off the economy. And I'm thinking, this is just through experience, that we're experiencing a lot of mine detonations, like hitting other ships, damaging ships. I really don't care at all about damaging American ships. Unless you sink them, or even when you sink them and I don't get victory points, it's not that much. But okay, sinking them is still effective, but they don't sink them off and they do damage. So I would say, actually, can I just cancel the ones I just ordered? Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and build normal submarines. And we can see if this hypothesis is true, if any of these medium range submarines are as effective at sinking or doing the damage to enemy ships, minesweepers or whatever. I don't really care that we're sinking those. I really don't. In fact, there's probably an argument to be made that we should avoid using them, considering our enemies are now employing ridiculous numbers of minesweepers. So this is going to put us up to 100. Let's just get one more stack. Yeah, okay, one more stack. Okay, that's good. Basically, those 30 submarines was the price of one Victoria. By all means. Okay, I think I'm okay with that decision then. And they'll be in good reliability as well. So, was it 18? I think it was 18 is exactly the time when I'm supposed to accelerate. Yep. So we will accelerate all these for, it's a bit close, but keep it going. No. No. Heavy shells, I'm pretty sure this is some kind of AP or HE thing. So by all, this is the only one I'm not going to sell. I don't think I've ever turned down that. If this is the first time. But there's a first time for everything. Okay. Good. We won't use it. In fact, we should really go to research and turn down everything to low here. Well, machinery is fine, but let's turn these down to low. We're not going to make use of any more of those things. The only things we really want on high are better turrets, better AP, better HE. Fleet tactics could actually go up to medium. I don't know how it impacts things, but sometimes it's signal error. Reduces the penalty for firing at the same ship. I mean, that's a good thing. And then naval guns is really important. What else do we have? I guess we could put our submarines don't need to go up any higher, but we could get maybe ASW and torpedo weapons to medium. Total switch of the techs. I mean, it's just nothing like what we were using. This one to medium as well. Really just flipping everything on its head. I don't think there's any ship design left to do. So I'm gonna put this to, whoops, wrong way, to low. Okay. So a few adjustments. Okay, and I see it's 39 minutes in, so we'll call this video to a close here. In the next episode, we will continue to advance our tensions with whoever it may be. And that'll probably bring us to our last war. Yeah, that's it. And then we'll call the series to a close. We just want to see how the Victoria class does. I have to say, just to start prepping us, and I'll probably say this in the next episode as well. In the next war, I'm probably going to throw our fleet into a fleet battle, whether or not it's a really successful one, just because I'm going to try to get our ships into battle. I mean, there's nothing more. We don't need to worry about invasions or whatever if it's the last battle, last war anyway, just to have some fun. So we'll do that. But until then, thanks for watching, and take care.